And let's take you to the story which continues to dominate Indian Airways. Yes, I'm talking about Manipur. Women are once again seen at forefront of protests when hundreds of them were seen marching towards Chief Minister and Biren Singh's residence. They were stopped by security forces. The women wanted to meet the CM and submit a memorandum urging him to promptly resolve the conflict. The action on the ground led to palpable tension. A lot of newspapers reported that why were they stopped. Now we are being also told that this triggered fresh anger in an already deeply divided society, raising also pertinent questions. And the question is that when thousands of elderly women were allowed to meet Biren Singh when he wanted to submit his resignation to the governor on June 30th, this batch of women could have also gone. Now the visuals on your screen are of day before yesterday. So it tells you that not everything is all right in Manipur, one. Secondly, the story I am going to tell you is that the curfew has been reimposed in many parts of Imphal and in many parts in the Kuki dominated hills. So the normalcy which had come, which was witnessed, I think that template for some time seems to be lost. When I say that it is lost, it means that the relaxation which was there, which was relaxation of the curfew, now that privilege has gone. Clampdown has taken place again. So one part of our discussion would be what has led to this clampdown. Second part would be Parliament session starts from tomorrow. Will India debate Manipur? And the third part of our conversation is that when will these women get to meet Biren Singh, because we are being told that some sort of dialogue is taking place. And lastly, what sort of measures are in place today, and little bit of update on the TMC delegation. So first let us play all the visuals, all the bites and all the tweets I have. Let me play out first of all the tweet of the Chief Minister and his photograph first. Biren Singh held a meeting with the renowned doctors and health service providers of Manipur in presence of Honorable Minister Ranjan Singh. And he says they had a very productive session. So Biren Singh is meeting doctors and health service providers. So that is one part of the story. The second part of the story is the TMC delegation. That's Manipur police. Manipur police condemns the dastardly attack meted out against Sri Kabib IPS officer. His escort was attacked. He was attacked. He escaped with his life. 30% has been arrested. So this is the tweet by Manipur police. I am also going to show you a tweet by Spear Corps, just to give you an update of what is happening. So I am going to play out the tweet of the Spear Corps also. Brijesh, first of all, why did situation deteriorate so much in last 48 hours? What happened?
Well, I think, the incident that the women wanted to meet Biren Singh and that was not allowed created a bit of a scary situation, a skirmish between the security forces who were not allowing the women to go and the women who wanted to meet the Chief Minister and submit a memorandum of their demands and all. So that was one thing. Then we also saw the vehicle of an Inspector General of Police, torched. And there are also several reports of several skirmishes which are coming from parts of Manipur. I think, this is something, Karthikeya, which we have been discussing for a very long time now. That law and order, that the government is still now not being able to control the law and order situation on the ground. And until and unless this law and order situation is controlled to a level where the political process can be initiated, it will become very, very difficult to initiate any kind of political dialogue.
Very difficult to initiate political dialogue. A very warm welcome to all of you. I'll first of all go to Mr. Kipgan. Mr. Kipgan, what has happened in the valley? The curfew is again in force in most of the Kuki-dominated areas. It's also there in the Imphal valley. Why has the ground shifted so much in last 72 hours? Your first comment on it.
The way I look at it is that, like as you mentioned a while ago, it is the same kind of women mob who had thronged CM's residence in thousands on the day that he was supposed to submit his resignation letter to the governor of Manipur. Now, why is it that this same Mera Paibi, same women mob is today not allowed to meet CM? It's because this can show you this is showing you the exact detail of Manipur, the story in Manipur, that the drama that the chief minister was able to sustain thus far, he is losing his grasp on it, and that now things are taking the turn that it should be taking. That the people, be it from the Meitei community as well, they are now able to see that this violence is doing nobody any good. That it has become, it has become important and more significant for the Meitei community that the violence also stops. But at the same time, they are also able to see that the chief minister, under his leadership, is still not able to bring down this sort of violence, the sort of attacks that keep happening, be it on whichever side it is, within the periphery of the hills and the valley. So the people on both sides, both communities are fed up with the present government, and so they're starting to take things into their own hands. As you can see, as we saw that the IGP was also attacked, and unfortunately he was safe. But it shows the kind of situation that Manipur is in right now. So the people have decided, not to fall anymore to this, no longer to the narrative that the government has been trying to portray to the world and portray to their own community people. They're starting to see the truth. Truth is prevailing, and with that, I am starting to see some sense of optimism in the people. That with the right kind of protest, and when you protest with the right objective in mind, if you are truly and honestly, fighting for peace, then the government will no longer be able to keep silent, and things will, I believe, things will turn out for the better.
Okay, Ramananji, your first thoughts. Why did this flare up happen after we reported that the schools have been opened, the children were going out?
A reasonable lull.
A sort of a reasonable lull, where basic activity could be done for 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, the first of all, the one has to understand that the today's curfew is related with the rally, organized by the Universal Mother organizations and the Federation of the Civil Society organizations at 11 o'clock. Now the issues are, everybody knows that the ongoing crisis is now more than 75 days, and still there is no sign of resolutions, no signs of peace, no sign of any conclusive, the objective coming out. Now the issues of yesterday's and the Marapaibis, women folk have attempt to meet the chief minister. It was conditions by the chief minister that only 9 people can come and meet the chief ministers, but the demand of the mothers are that we wanted to meet you. We are unarmed and we want to express everything in front of you. So we let us allow to meet you when you have met so many mothers on the day of your resignations attempt in the past. So then they are not allowed by the security personnel, and later on they have warned by the security personnel, and they throw the all those smoke bombs and the others. So that was the many of the mothers was got injury on that day. So that whole issue is nothing but is the anger, is the frustrations, is the confusions and the fears among the people of Manipur, both in the hills and the in the valley. So because of this reason, still people are feeling that the more need to be done by the government, and then the government is failing till now to control the situations on the both the side. That is what I wanted to say.
Okay, and these are the opening comments. Mr. Shah, warm welcome in our show.
So my opening comment is very, very simple. It is as Martin Luther King had once said, and in the end, we'll forget the words of our enemy, but we'll remember the silence of our friends. And that is the reason why I've been very, very vocal ever since 3rd May, right from day one when this violence took place. And because I have a lot of friends from the Northeast. And when I say the Northeast, I do not mean from Manipur only, or I don't mean the Kuki or the Maite only. I don't mean Tangkul or the Nagas only. I don't mean from the Maite community, the Pangals, who are the Manipuri Muslims. Like in 1972, there was the Chief Minister of Manipur, who was Mr. Alimuddin, who was a Pangal. I don't mean the Sanamai, which is a separate religion. I mean every one of Northeast. My heart bleeds for them, and I really care for them. That is the reason I think the entire country's first priority should be to restore peace in Manipur from both the sides, from the Kuki tribe as well, and from the Maite community, and they should be heard. They should get a fair chance, both the communities, to speak their grounds and give them a comforting shoulder to lean on. Not again.
Shoulder to lean on. But you see, why do you think that these flare-ups are happening from the security point of view? That is where I want you to come. Why?
Okay. Now, that's a very good question now with regards to a security point of view. First, let's come to the army. There is Armed Forces Special Power Act in Jammu Kashmir and in the Northeast in the disturbed states. Now, the Armed Forces Special Power Act firstly was lifted from the valley a couple of months before the violence broke out, a couple of months earlier, in fact. And now the army cannot just come in and just barge in. They have to be called, because right now it is a situation where it's aid to civil authority, where there's a requisition, the army has to be requested, and then the army comes in to help the civil authority with the magistrate, guide, maps. There's a whole lot of things. But the army, there is no requisition for the army to be called out. Secondly, the Assam Rifles is doing a commendable job, and I'm not saying this because I served in the army and the Assam Rifles. I generally mean it. They have been aspersions cast on the goodwill, on the good work of the Assam Rifles and on the army also, unfortunately and very unfairly. Where, see, the very fact is when you are neutral, when you do not take sides, then you would be accused of taking sides, because you will only be fair. You will only help out who is being victimized. You will help out the victims. And in the Assam Rifles, for example, they were aspersions cast on Assam Rifles that they were helping, they were more pro towards the Kuki tribe. First, let me clear people's doubts in mind that the Assam Rifles, we have an all India force. The people from Assam Rifles are led by majority of them are army officers who come on deputation, and the troops are primarily from the Northeast, I agree, but many of them are from Rajasthan, from Haryana, from UP, from Bihar, from the South, from all over. And the troops which are from the South, from the Northeast, they are not just Kuki troops, not just Maite troops, they are troops from Tangkul as well. They are troops from all tribes, from all communities from the Northeast. So obviously the majority is Maite in Manipur, like as per the 2011 census, 53% are Maites. So zahir si baat hai, obviously the maximum troops, even in the Assam Rifles, would be Maite. Now, if the Maite troops, people say that they were helping the Kukis, this goes to prove that our forces are totally secular, totally neutral, totally non-biased. They will not see who is Maite, who is Kuki, who is a Hindu, who is Muslim, who is a Sikh. They will just discharge their duties impartially without taking sides. So now the security point of view, again, it was indeed a matter of grave concern when thousands of weapons were looted from the Manipur State Police Commandos a very good fighting force, and I have always spoken very highly of them. I have worked with them, I have seen them, I have operated with them closely on ground, and they're a very good fighting force. So it surprised me no end, where not a single bullet was fired. There was not much of resistance, and thousands of weapons were looted from the armory of the police. That is again a matter of grave concern. I think it should be inquired, and that particular battalion, those particular from the training center, wherever it was, they should be taken to task. Secondly, everyone has their escorts. Like right now, we saw IG Police, the batch of 2005, the year I came to Manipur as a young captain. So that officer's escort party, and it was attacked. Now, the very fact is, whenever we take an escort party, I want to ask this question to everyone in Manipur who is holding a high office, irrespective of the tribe, community, race, religion. Who are your escorts? Do you take only because you're Maite, so you will take only Maite escorts, or because the former DGP, with all respect to him, in fact, very fine gentleman, Mr. Dongil, his cousin was in the Nagaland police at the time when I was there as well. So would he take only the Kuki escorts? It should be a mix. Like in the Assam Rifles, where I served, we had the Kukis, we had the Maites, we had Sanamais as well, we had the Nagas, we had the Tangkuls, we had the Maite Christians, we had ex-underground faction cadres who had come overground, and now they had got employment, they had joined the forces, and they were a huge asset to us. So we have to see, as forces people, I hope we are not siding anyone. Like, say, example, the police. I hope the IG police is not just carrying only escorts from one particular tribe or one particular community, because in the uniformed forces, we do not really favor anyone. We discharge our duties. We are very, very secular people. So regarding the security point of view, which is a matter of grave concern right now, we have to actually buy gun is not the answer. I always say that. I said that while I was in service as well. We have to win the heart and mind. We have to understand until a person is convinced that ye nahi karna hai, he shouldn't be doing this. You can force a person with a gun, with a bullet, with fire to a certain extent. But can you convince his heart? That is the golden question over here. So I was in a place where security situation, the guns were blazing big time. My gun blazed too, Karthikeya, I'll be very, very honest. But instead of firing bullets from my gun, I chose to fire love, peace, compassion, humanity, the human touch from my gun. And we got a lot of people, they got brainwashed, their mind changed. They came on our side. They said, no, we had a different impression about just last night, I interviewed a very senior person who was a part of the underground faction in the Northeast, just last night.
Okay.
And what he told me was, earlier, a lot of people tell me that, when we met an officer like you and your troops, our entire impression about the army, the Assam Rifles, changed completely.
Okay.
Because earlier we would perceive them as villains. Now, no, they are heroes. They are the ones who stay away from their families and they do their bit over there.
Okay.